So here, give us just an understanding of what is done in conveyancing within the real estate journey and transaction process here between the buyer and the seller, and what is their roles, what is the conveyancer roles, and what is the real estate agent or agency role.
So the conveyancer actually does quite a bit of the work after so there's a Form F, which is the land department's official sales contract between the buyer and the seller. So once that is signed, then the conveyancer gets engaged by the client. Obviously, we got to do the onboarding of the client, so KYC, the AML screenings, and then once they're onboarded, then the work begins. So, of course, a review, that's due diligence, will include the review of the Form F, and then if necessary, there will be an addendum that changes the terms and conditions that would be signed by both parties. And then also the verification of the title deed, which is super important, right? To verify who the owner is. So that's very easy these days because we've got the Dubai REST app and it's open
Because of the
data now.
technology, yep.
Yes, through the land department. And then if there are any mortgages, then the conveyancer gets involved. So if there's a mortgage on the seller's property, then they will make sure to get a release from the bank. And then also, if the buyer is buying through a mortgage, same thing, they would make sure to follow up with the bank to see that they get the final offer letter. NOCs, so that's something that might be foreign to people who are not used to transactions in Dubai. So, an NOC is a no objection certificate, and that is required from the developer, saying that there are no service charges that are outstanding or any kind of charges or anything due from the seller, and that the developer is fine with the sale going through. So that's also done. And then arranging all of the paperwork, collecting all of the checks. So, for example, the conveyancer would act as the escrowee here, so meaning holding the deposit check from the buyer. If the seller issues a security check, same thing. And then also collecting all of the fees prior to the transfer. So there's the 4% transfer fee for the Dubai Land Department, and then also the registration trustees fees. And we also collect the commissions that are due to the brokers as well. So that is done through us as well. And then we arrange unless there's a bank involved, if there's a mortgage involved, then the bank will choose where to close with the registration trustee's office. But we will arrange the transfer and, of course, attend the transfer, disperse the checks as necessary. And then even after transfer is done, there's still some follow-up services. So, for example, making sure buyer received their keys, the access cards, etc., the copies of the title deed. So there's a lot of work to be done, as you can see.